What up? What up, blessed team? How y'all doing? I hope y'all been having an incredible week or an incredible day. And most importantly, you are making it count. You are being productive. You maximizing every opportunity. We got a great topic today. We're talking about the art of getting things done. I think it's something that we should all look forward to. I want to get a lot of things done. I'm pretty sure you want to get a lot of things done. Because there's one thing that's for certain. When you get things done, you get results. When you accomplish things, your life begins to change. I mean, that's the reality of things, right? We don't need to even stress on it. It's just how things are. So we're going to dive deep into the art, right? Because I believe it's not just waking up and just showing up and as long as you're working. No, I think there has to be a system, a methodology, a process, a routine, something that you can follow consistently to get the outcomes that you ultimately want, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we do any of that, right? If this is your first time coming across my podcast, my goal, my mission, and my vision with this podcast is to inspire 1 billion people out there to become the best version of themselves or a better version of themselves through insightful conversations about fitness, about nutrition, as well as personal growth advice. And when it comes to the fitness stuff, we like to focus more on losing weight, building muscle, right? So if you're a person out there that want to lose weight, you need advice on how to really dial in on your nutrition. If you want to know how to shop for groceries properly, because a ton of people really suffer with their nutrition because they don't know how to shop for groceries. I got you covered. I'll make sure we take care of you with this podcast. And on top of that, we talk about a lot of pragmatic and very practical stuff, habits, disciplines that you can incorporate into your life to make it better. But most importantly, go out there and achieve your big dreams, your big aspirations, right? So if any of those things interest you, then I believe you found the right podcast, all right? You know what? I almost forgot to check in with y'all. Have you been checking with your family? Have you been looking out for your mom, your dad, your uncles, your sisters? Have you been reaching out to your friends, acquaintances, right? I stress on it all the time, and I'm going to keep stressing on it because, listen, I appreciate the fact that you take a lot of time to listen to these episodes, but ultimately, the people that really love you are the people that are going to be there at your funeral. You know those people. Check in with them, reach out, say hello. I hope everybody's well. And most importantly, things are going really great with them and they're executing, they're getting the outcomes that they want. All right. So now that we got all those things out of the way, because those are, maintenance, we want to make sure we take care of that. Let's dive deep into today's topic. I want to share with you 3 things or maybe 4 things up here that you can implement every single day to get the outcomes that you want, right? I believe, like I said in the beginning, there are strategies. There are systems that if you really establish in your life, does it evolve over time? Absolutely. But I believe if you can follow these systems that I'm about to talk about diligently, you are going to get the results you're looking for. I guarantee this. So the first thing on the list that I want you to understand, anyway, before we even talk about any of those things, I need you to know that no matter how tough your life is, no matter what is going on, you must find a way to execute, right? Like, I get it. We all have emergencies. Things show up in our life where we can't control, a mom gets sick, an uncle, a brother, a niece, nephew, something pops up. You have to go to an occasion, a wedding. I understand all of that. But you should have priorities where you find a way to execute on regardless. I just wanted to get that out of the way so people know that just because you're tired doesn't mean you stop working. All right. If you have things you need to do for that day, and let's say you're supposed to work 8 hours and at a 7-hour mark, you are tired, that doesn't mean you should just stop and go home or come up with an excuse. Like, no. Because every time you show up to do the things you must do, the things that you need to do, it produces results. You get outcomes. I mean, that's just the reality of things. And I want to make sure everyone that's listening to this episode is very aware of this, that if you ultimately want to achieve things, you will have to do things. And in some instances, they are going to be very uncomfortable. All right. So get used to that. Now, the first thing on the list is you must clarify, be very definitive, have specificity in your daily goals and outcomes, right? Like, what exactly do you want? Don't wake up and say, I want to go to the gym. I've said it on several occasions. That is not a goal. And if you really want to get things done, at least you have to have a good idea of what you are going after. I must know that, oh, okay, I'm waking up today. I go to the gym at 3 p.m. I'm training chest. I'm doing about 12 sets per day, and I'm going to do the supersets. And I have to be cognizant and aware of exactly what I'm going after. If I do not know where I'm going to get lost. If I don't have a map to where I'm going to get lost. Do you have to know every single detail? No, but it has to be as specific as possible. That way you are sure, and it also helps you strategize what you really need in order to get that particular thing done. Please, and please again, if you really want to master the art of getting things done so you can get the results that you actually want, then you must be clear on every single goal you want to accomplish every day. You can't have vagueness. That cannot be the case. You have to be certain. You have to know exactly what you need to do that day in order for you to get that particular outcomes. And again, when it comes to your goals, it should be non-negotiables. Every time you show up to take those actions, they are getting you closer to your ultimate vision. And every time you don't show up for those things, you are regressing. Now, the second thing that I believe if you can incorporate into your daily life will help you master the art of actually doing the things you need to do without procrastination, etc., and etc. Right? This is something I found to be very profound in my own life, especially since I'm on the road a lot. I have dedicated times, and that is the second one. You need to set up dedicated times for executing on all your priorities, right? So it could be like something from 6 a.m. all the way to maybe 12 noon. Within that time frame, your phone cannot be with you. Do not disturb if it's necessary. Put your phone away so that way you don't get notifications that will take you on social media, and now you're distracted and not focused and obsessed about what you need to do. Remember, we are clear. We are specific about what we're going after. Now, can we find a way to allocate a specific time to do what we need? That way, you know what? At the end of the day, when I look back, I can say, you know what? Within this time frame, I got this done. I showed up for myself. I was supposed to go to the gym. I made sure I did that. I was supposed to read a book. I made sure I did that. If you can really dedicate that time frame with no distractions, you're going to get so much more done. This is something that has been so great in my life. And I strongly suggest that if you're not doing this already, like with the advent of social media, we know this. There's too many distractions. The internet will take you off course. All it takes is one buzz or notification. The next thing you know, your friends send you that little short, that TikTok, that Instagram reel. You click on it, you online watching random videos. This is something that happens to me all the time. You have to be cognizant of this so that way you can set the proper time frame to execute on the things that really means a lot to you. All right. Now, before we go into the last one, or maybe last but not the least, this is what I want to tell you. Your priorities should always be first on your list before everybody's needs comes along. You have to find a way to make you a priority. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. Find a way to dedicate time to focus on the things that really will get you to where you want to be. Whether it's 2 hours in the morning, whether it's 2 hours at night, I don't know what time that works for you, but you have to find a way within your daily schedule to execute on the things that are high priorities for you, right? One of the things that I've talked about this on my Instagram before that can really help you is try to break down your goals into high leverage tasks, right? So the top priority, like the top 2 things that needs to get done, like they are non-negotiables. And then you can put like low priority task later in the day, right? I know, again, there's nothing wrong with laying in your bed. There's nothing wrong with cleaning your room. But if you can get up and get straight into work and get a lot of things done, I want to get up and get straight to work and get a lot of things done. So do your best to find a way to dedicate all the times that you need to do what will get you to where you ultimately want to be. This is vital. Don't let anybody come in between that. If a friend is trying to take time from you, you need to stop that. This is where you set the boundaries. This is where you have to value yourself. This is where the self-love thing that people talk about, this is where it comes in. This is where it makes a huge difference. You have to value yourself. You cannot master the art of getting things done and accomplishing those big aspirations if you don't have clarity, if you're not dedicating time to do that. If you are prioritizing other people over your own things that matters to you, then you have to understand that in most cases, you're not going to get a lot of things done and you're going to end up being very disappointed. All right, now let's go into the last thing on the list. Okay, so the last thing is, it is vital that you find a way to write down the meaning of each one of those goals. Like if you really accomplish those goals, that small aspirations, those big visions, if you accomplish them within a day, a month, a year, whatever the case might be, what does that mean to you? The goal has to mean a lot more, especially when it comes to daily goals, right? You need to write down next to each one of those goals. If I accomplish this goal, this is what it's going to give me. This is exactly why I must accomplish this particular goal. You see, most of the time, when we don't get the outcomes that we want, when we set goals and we don't follow through on them, it doesn't bother us because there is not really big meanings behind them. We don't really find out and take time to write down valuable meaning attached to each one of these goals. So that's what is going to cause something like, I'm just going to go to the gym today. It doesn't mean a lot to you. Like, what are you really trying to accomplish by going to the gym today? What is your goal? And how do you improve? How do you measure yourself? I think it's so vital. Even among the first two that I talk about, to me, this one is more important than anything. If you can find a way to write a few things that matters to you as to why you must accomplish these goals, it gives you a lot of energy to stay focused. So you're not going to be as distracted because you know that, man, if I get this $200 a day, if I find a way to make sure I close this business deal, I'm going to get this, and that, and that's going to help my mom do this and that. I believe this is so important that if you can find a way to do this, it is going to make a massive difference in your overall execution. And eventually you will master the art. All right. Now, before we dive into the quote of the week, I want to take a moment to refresh your mind and recap everything that we talked about. Be clear on all goals that you set for yourself. Any objective that you want to go after, try not to be vague. Be clear, be very definitive. That way you can come up with the right strategies to get the outcomes that you ultimately desire, right? The second thing is you have to find a way to dedicate specific times, whether it's 8 a.m. to 12, again, it doesn't matter. Find the time frame that works for you and say, within this time frame, I'm reading 2 books. Within this time frame, I'm going to learn how to code. Within this time frame, I'm going to do this specific thing. And if you find a way to do that, you're going to be more productive. I'm telling you, you're going to do so much more because you're not distracted. Your phone is not next to you. Your computer is not buzzing. You are focused on a specific task. And when a man is focused, when a man is obsessed, when a man is possessed, you are elite. You are very different, right? And the last thing on here is making sure that you have meanings and you have to write this down. I know some of you don't like to write things down for whatever reason that is. I love writing. I think it's awesome, right? It's great to type. I type a lot and I think I'm a decent typer, but overall, I love writing. So find a way to write down quality meanings, valuable meanings next to your goals. Why must you accomplish these goals? And if you don't accomplish these goals, what are some of the consequences as a result of that, right? I believe if you can write that down next to each one of your goals, is going to enforce a level of focus that will help you get those things done. All right. I really believe there's a lot of value in today's episode, right? I know that for those of you that really want to become masters of accomplishing the things you want, you're really going to put this into practice. You're going to find a way every single day, every single morning to write goals and be very clear on those goals. I know those of you that are very intelligent are going to take the time and say, you know what, maybe I should really find a way to dedicate specific times to accomplish the things that really matters to me. And I can get to all the other stuff later. And then those same people are going to find a way to write down really valuable meanings next to these goals that will help them make sure that they get these things accomplished. If you apply it, it's going to make a difference. And if you listen to this point, you clearly need this information. So please apply it. Don't waste your time and come back and let me know what happened after you applied it. All right. For the quote of the week, this one is a powerful one. It's actually from Mark Twain. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but that's an assignment for y'all. Go look him up. Mark Twain, MarkTwain, Mark Twain. Go check him out. So the quote that I have for the week says, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking down your complex, overwhelming task into small, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one. I'm going to repeat that again because it's such a great quote. Like that's fire. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. If you want to get ahead in life, you start. You find a way to get it done. You want to accomplish those big things in your life. You want to get those cars. You want to get those houses. You want to be able to have $100,000 saved. You get started. You might not be at the same place as those people that are millionaires and billionaires, but you can start today. When you start, it's going to be complex sometimes, especially when you have big visions and big goals. So one of the things you can do is break down all your goals into very small, manageable tasks. I cannot say enough. If you ever read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, this is something that he stressed on in the whole entire book, that if you want to accomplish big things in your life, yes, that's incredible. But every day you have to do something that's getting you closer to that place. That's why you have daily goals and weekly goals and monthly goals and yearly goals. So then along the way, you are evaluating yourself every day. You're not waiting till December 31st to do that. You're checking yourself. You see what's going on. So Mark Twain talked about how important it is to get started, because then if you can get started, you gain momentum. It's easy to go to the gym for only 20 minutes versus trying to go to the gym for 4 hours if you just starting to train. I know if you're listening to this point in the episode, you've learned a lot and you've gained a lot of value. I hope you find a way to implement this. But most importantly, find a way to share this episode with someone that you care about, a loved one, a friend, someone that really struggles to get things done that matters to them, someone that struggles to put the right habits in place to get them the outcomes that they deeply desire. Share this with them. I know it's going to be resourceful. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I think it's getting better, right? As we go through these episodes, it's interesting. I'm noticing myself just keep getting better, and I'm getting more comfortable with this whole podcasting. As time goes by, you guys are probably going to notice that it's going to get longer and longer, and it's going to get better and better. Anyway, thank you again, big time, for listening. And before we get out of here, stay blessed, but most importantly, stay out of trouble. All right. It's your boy Sam, and I'm going to catch y'all next Thursday.